tenets of this great country, 250 years after its formation. And it is also true in the developing world, where women own less than 2% of the world's assets, but provide more than 70 to 80% of the agricultural and food production labor. A male's education gives you the opportunity to be aware of the many ways in which class, race, heterosexuality, age, gender can be a source of privilege, or the lack of either of those privileges can act as a permanent barrier both to aspirations and to imagination. Your presence here at Mills has helped to create and sustain a diverse and caring community. And regardless of whether you spent more time on the lawns or in the cafeteria than in class, you probably will take with you some of the most meaningful relationships and friendships you ever have had in your life with you. And I think that in ways that will only become clear years from now, your time here has been an investment in your ability to imagine a radically different future, both for yourselves and for our world. That was the true gift of the old man in Bihar. His words had been a wake-up call to me, but they also challenged my imagination. What could I dream of being? And what might it look like under different circumstances? In the many years that have passed since then, I have faced moments in which I've had to imagine possibilities that I actually know nothing about. Could I be a passionate human rights defender and an advocate for gender equality if I wasn't living in a small village in India, but was on a women's college in an elite institution like Mount Holyoke, and was fighting for divestment from South Africa or Israel on par with working in an orphanage? Was there a scale somehow that measured how deep your commitment to social justice and gender equality really was? And how was I measuring up? Did it matter? If I fell in love with a Pakistani and I stayed in the United States, did that mean I had abandoned India and my commitment to my country? Could I still give back? How? If I worked with community organizers on the south side of Chicago, did that somehow meet the principles of equality and fairness that I've been striving for? If I have a 2-year-old called Mira, can I really accept a job at the Global Fund for Women? And could my husband and I have a partnership in which he is the stay-at-home parent? Could I really live my feminist theory out in such hard reality? As Boots reminded us so eloquently earlier, the experience of failing seems to be critical to the ability to expand our imagination. We think we couldn't possibly survive the humiliation and the public failure, and then somehow we do. Our hands grab for the next samosa, our minds dare to conceive a new adventure, and our spirit imagines the next chapter and is halfway to writing it. Human beings are blessed with extraordinary resilience and the capacity to dream of things yet unheard of, undone, unsung. This I know from the experience of the past 12 years at the Global Fund for Women, as I've been privileged to be a small part of the thousands of stories that Anita reminded us about. Stories of women activists, of scholars, of writers, of theater majors, of troublemakers, of soccer players, of scientists, lawyers. That little pesky voice that's insisting on a cameo role was right. I don't know about all the times all of them and all of you have failed. I only know, like Boots, you will do it again and again and again. And in doing so, it will only strengthen your ability to imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill.